So this is a walkthrough about how to do facial capture for the Live Link app, which is the app that we use to record our performance so that it can be mapped onto a 3D character in Unreal. So you're looking at the interface after you launch the app. You see yourself. Let's talk about, I'm going to walk you through camera position, calibration, and then some notes about your performance. Okay, so first of all, camera position. It is best to have the camera locked down on a tripod, not moving on your desk or standing up, wherever it is, just like the way it is right now, because you want it absolutely still, because any movement to my face is going to be can be construed as the character actually moving. So, for example, if I was standing straight and my camera was moving like this, it might actually look like my character is having a seizure like this. So you don't want that. You want it fixed like this. Okay. Second, with regard to camera position, we are recording both three things. We're recording audio, me speaking, the video, what you're looking at right here of me, but also depth data. So depth data is used to achieve better accuracy for your character so that the software kind of understands where my cheekbones are, how straight out they are, and specifically how my lips are moving. And because of that, I mentioned that because it is not a cinematic camera. So the actual position, dramatically is not something you should be thinking of. You should be thinking about the best way to capture your performance and that data. And when it comes to depth data in particular, we really want to emphasize the performance of the lips so we get accurate lip syncing. And so because of that, the best way to position your camera is not necessarily straight on, but to be a little bit up like this so that it's almost looking up your nose more than it normally would. This is not a camera shot. This is just to capture your facial performance. And so we really want the lips to be front and center more than you normally would like this for, a cinematic look. Okay. Second of all, with camera position, lighting is essential. So right now, this isn't actually the best example of lighting because all of my face is not illuminated. It's actually more like the daylight that's hitting here. So like if we were, I'm going to do it real quick by a window. I was away from the mic. That's why I wasn't talking. That would actually be better. You want to position yourself where you get a lot of light, so that the camera, so that the video quality can be analyzed best. So that's camera position. Okay, so let's talk about calibration, which is probably the most important and the main point of this tutorial. There's going to be four different positions that four different positions that you're going to capture before you actually do your acting. So the first take is always calibration. Before we actually go through that, let me walk you through the interface here. We've got obviously the record button, but down here it happens to say Leo Allen take 6 iPhone. If I tap that, this interface will come up and you can actually type in whatever you want. I always do calibration. I do a calibration and I'll do a hyphen, usually with my name and maybe the date. So I would do like 20, that's actually, I would probably just do 0911. It's not too long. And then take 1, hit OK. Good. All right, so that's a naming convention. So for calibration, I need 4 positions from you. I need straight on neutral, a sideways, another sideways, and then a teeth, so that the software can calibrate all that about your character. So let's go through each of those. So looking for neutral position. It's called neutral for a reason. What I do find though is that I try to lift my eyebrows a little bit more than I normally would, just so when the software actually tries to animate my eyebrows, it has a direction to go through. I kind of have like slightly resting bitch face or eyebrows, so I look a little bit angrier than I should. So my neutral position is I have my eyebrows a little bit raised. Okay, for looking left and right, so that's the first position, neutral. Then I look left and I look right. And the note for these directions is that you always want a little bit of the skin on this side of the eyes to show. You don't want to be completely like this, because then the software cannot see the other side of the face. So you're going to want to look like that. And I look straight ahead. Mirror it on the other way. I'm always looking at the screen right now, like I'm doing right now, to make sure there's some skin visible. And then I'll look straight in neutral position. And then the last one is neutral, but showing your teeth. And yeah, I tried to, before I was like this, but no, you want neutral with the teeth shown. I don't think it matters whether you look directly at the camera versus looking at yourself. But those are the 4 positions. So neutral, my left, my right, and then teeth. Sorry, regular eyebrows. Good. So we just went over camera position, we went over calibration, and then just notes about your performance. Okay, so let's talk about that. Because it's recording depth data and using this video, it's really important, especially when you're speaking, to make sure your mouth and most of your face is what the camera can see. So you can move your head to a certain degree to enhance your performance, and you definitely should, because that comes out and you achieve better results with your performance. But make sure you don't rotate too much, because then the camera does not know what's going on this side of the mouth, this side of the face, this side of the eyes, and you get massive what we call twitching or like seizure behavior in the animation. So when you're performing, you can pick an eye line in front of you to be looking at, pick a couple where maybe the other characters are, if you're studying something, looking down, pretend you can even hold the script there. If you're analyzing, it will pick up your eyes. If I'm looking like this, watch. That subtlety will be picked up. But and if you're reacting, you can go like this, but don't like that or fall off like that, because obviously there'll be no data to actually map to your character. And then once again, I want to reiterate that the most important thing, especially in speaking lines, is that the camera actually is recording the depth data, the video data, and your voice. So make sure those lips are front and center, and the camera might be a little bit lower positioned than you would think a cinematic camera would be placed. That's one of the common mistakes I've seen with actors when they're starting out. They think that this is the actual shot, so they want to compose it like perfectly, when the whole point is actually to capture the best data and realize that the camera positioning will be done in the software, not here. All right. So I think that concludes this walkthrough. Please let me know if you have any other questions, but I think this is definitive, as this is the 4th or 5th version of this that I've recorded incorporating our different learnings. Oh yeah. And the most important thing about getting fantastic performance is